Hey, Dave here. Coming back with the results from my battery test on my FMS A-10, and actually flew two batteries one day, and the three next day had left an adapter at home. I had to run back. But the weather on both days was pretty much the same, so got all five flights in. So what I ended up doing, just to kind of, because I earlier in the video I said, that I was going to how I was going to try to fly it. So what I ended up doing was I taxied out, checked the battery voltage with my controller, took off my takeoffs. Pretty much hit probably close to full throttle just on takeoff. And then immediately, as soon as I got lift off, I'm backing the throttle back down, getting the gear up, getting the flaps up. And then flew 50%, maybe 60% throttle. And what I was trying to do again was in the turns, I was flying just fast enough so I wasn't stalling in the turns. And I'd say I got pretty close at that 50 and 60% throttle. Some of them I had to do with the winds, but I was a little uncomfortable a few times. But then just flew NASCAR. And then at the 2 minute mark, I would, check the battery voltage to see where I was at. And then I just went ahead and tried to land as close as I could to the 3 minute mark. Taxi the plane back to the car and check the voltage after it set for a few seconds to kind of see where I was at. So, here are the results. I put them in a little spreadsheet and took a picture of it. It's the only way I could figure out how to get it on the screen. But so remember, I flew the two CHNLs, and you can see the average internal resistance. So the first one was really good. The internal resistances were really nice. Again, these batteries are maybe six. Charges or cycles on them, less than a dozen for sure. So voltage at takeoff with 21.1 for the first one. At 21 at 2 minutes, I was at 21.8 volts. Uh, uh, After I landed, which had 3 minute and 8 second flight time, voltage is down to 22.6, and average voltage per cell was 377, 378. So right around the 3.8 mark, which is good. The second CHNL IR was a little higher. Again, bottom at the exact same time. Same number of cycles because I take them both out when I fly them. But 25.0 at takeoff. After 2 minutes, 21.5. At landing, it was at 22.6 as well. Got 3 minutes and 21 seconds flight time, so a little bit more flight time. Uh, and again at 379, 38, so got good across the cells. They were all right at the right place. So my Spektrum 5000s, they're a little bit older. I didn't go check the cycles. You can, if you got a Spektrum battery and a Spektrum charger, you can actually go check and see how many cycles because they're smart batteries and it records that. But I didn't do that. So I'm sure these have got quite a few cycles on them. They're probably 2 to 3 years old. I didn't buy them at the same time, so I'm not sure exactly the difference, but they're 2 to 3. But I have flown them quite a bit because I fly them. I use these on my Warbirds, my Corsair and my Spitfire and my Fokker Wolf. So these got probably quite a few cycles on them. But again, you see the internal resistances are pretty good. Voltages at takeoff 25.0, 25.1, respectively. Um, After 2 minutes, 21.4, 21.8. Again, pretty close. And then at landing, both of them right on the same 22 and a half. I did land the first a little bit earlier than I thought I was, but I went ahead and just landed instead of doing another cycle. So I got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on that one, and then 3 minutes and 6 seconds on the second flight on the Spektrum. But again, you see the battery voltages are 377, 378, 375, 377. So very, very consistent. And then my HRB 6000, that's probably one of my older batteries. I would say it's at least 3 years old, um, but it's in really good shape. The, no puffing at all. It's pretty rock solid, and again, internal resistances are pretty decent. The voltage at takeoff 25.0, 21.7 after 2 minutes. So you see all the batteries are after 2 minutes are giving me fairly consistent performance, and at landing a little bit better, 22.8. It was a tad bit better, 3 minutes 12 seconds flight time. And then it was just slightly higher, 381 to 382 across the cells when I landed. So technically, I guess my HRB gave me just a tad bit better performance than the others. But so the reality is, though, is these were all 50%, 50, 60% throttle flight times. No fast passes. So probably like a lot of you, if you got a EDF, you kind of want to get on it a little bit, fly fast. I mean, it's a jet, right? I mean, so flying slow, doing slow passes, those are pretty cool. They look cool, but you also want to go fast. You want to do, fast climbs and maneuvers and stuff like that without it stalling. So I would say for me, it looks like I'm going to get that. I'll probably will keep my timer at 3 minutes and make sure I'm getting it down as close as that as I can, especially if I'm doing fast passes. But fortunately, with this, I'm using one of the Spektrum receivers where I've got the telemetry on it, so I can check the battery voltages. So if it looks like it's getting low early, I can land earlier. If I'm, for whatever reason, if the voltages are pretty good, then um, I can get a little bit more flight time. So I'd be really curious to anybody that's getting the longer flight times with this A-10. Again, this is the FMS 70 millimeter A-10. Again, new plane. For the most part, it's got, again, probably 6, 7 flights on it at most. I bought it off Marketplace. Somebody, but he had never flew it, had assembled it, but never put it in the air. And so it's new motors, new ESCs, and if somebody's getting those kind of flight times, I would be really curious what you're doing different or what you're flying that can get that. Because for me, 3 different batteries, 5 to 6,000, I'm getting similar performance. I thought I'd get a lot more out of the 6,000s, but they're not giving me a much more, and probably you're paying that weight penalty. So there's probably that balance between a heavier battery, but you got more juice, but you're also paying that weight penalty as well. So anyway, anybody's got any ideas, comments, suggestions, love to hear them. And anyway, hopefully we're still in the rating season. Apparently, we're getting rained out just about every seems just about every day we have an opportunity to fly a training. So, but maybe we'll get some good flight times in here this weekend and get out there and have some fun again. So anybody, enjoy flying, keep them level, and hope all your returns are in one piece. And that's a good day for me. So have a great day. Dave here, out.